Going into next year, we're not going to count anybody drafted. Going into next year, based on age, momentum, health, head coach, who are the 10 best quarterbacks going into next year? We count your coordinator. We count your head coach. We count your health, your current momentum. Here we go, 1 through 10.
Colin Cowherd lists his top 10 quarterbacks going into 2023. And guess who ain't on the list? In creating this list, Colin Cowherd is using 4 factors to determine who are the top 10 quarterbacks going into 2023. Age, health, momentum, and head coach. It appears that by using this criteria, Tua Tagovailoa immediately gets a 50% reduction. Momentum, that's an easy demerit. He went out on December 25th, never returned, 0 momentum going into 2023. And as for health, all we have is question marks in judo lessons and 7 months of uncertainty. But obviously age isn't a factor. Tua is only 24 years old. As for head coach Mike McDaniel, Mike made some questionable calls. His time management was off, but I think we can all agree that he did at least a B-level job with everything that he had to deal with. So with that being Colin Cowherd's criteria, let's look at his top 10 quarterbacks for 2023. Number 1 on his list is Patrick Mahomes. Let's get that out of the way right now. Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, no debate, no discussion, easy call to make. Number 2 is Joe Burrow. You can argue with it if you want, but the guy has been showing up. Number 3 is a surprise. Colin Cowherd says Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 3 quarterback in 2023. I found this to be a surprise as well until I looked at his momentum factor. Do you realize that Trevor Lawrence went 7-2 over his last 9 games and actually won a playoff game against the Los Angeles Chargers, which is obviously something that Tua hasn't done. Well, number 4, he goes with Justin Herbert. Of course he went with Justin Herbert. He loves Justin Herbert as much as I love Tua Tagovailoa. So it's a biased pick. I don't think Herbert should be there, but it's on his list nonetheless, and it's his show. And number 5, he drops in Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is better than both Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, but nonetheless, that's where he put Josh Allen. Josh Allen made some big mistakes this year. He relied on his legs way too much, but he's still a top elite quarterback in the league. At number 6, Colin puts Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, who just balled out in the Super Bowl, is ranked below Justin Herbert. Colin, you got to make this make sense somehow. No way. And this may be the biggest surprise on the list. Number 7, he drops in Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is 35 years old, missed almost as many games as Tua did, and he comes in on this list. How in the hell is he on any top 10 list? He's got no momentum. His age is a factor. His coach may be looking to renegotiate his contract, so who knows how that's going to work out with him. But nonetheless, it's his show. At number 8, he puts Aaron Rodgers on the list. I don't have a problem with that. Aaron doesn't meet hardly any of the criteria. He's older at 39. He has no momentum going into next season, and he doesn't even know where he's going to be playing. But a future Hall of Famer deserves to be on the list. Now this one is nuts. At number 9, he puts in Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, above everything else, he missed a bunch of games. He's in a contract dispute, and I think he quit on his team this year. But hey, we're not looking at 2022, right? So going into 2023, yes, he's young. Health has an issue. He's missed a bunch of games. He definitely has no momentum. And his coach, who knows where he's going to end up in 2023. So I don't think Lamar Jackson should be a top-level quarterback prediction for 2023. At number 10, this is where I think Colin Cowherd, his list goes off the rails. He picks Jared Goff as number 10 on his list. Jared Goff, while the Lions surged this year and did really well at the end of the season, is Jared Goff strong enough to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? I don't mean strength in terms of body strength. I mean in terms of his body of work and what he's been doing. Yes, he's young. Yes, they do have some momentum. I love their head coach, and his health is fine. So he's got all the factors that Colin Cowherd is talking about, but can he make it happen? Now understand and don't miss this. Whether you don't like his list or you love his list, understand it has nothing to do with 2022. Don't talk to me about stats. Don't talk to me about performance in 2022. The book is closed on 2022. We're talking about 2023. And I understand when I watched him make this list, that's exactly what he's referring to. He was referring to what's going to happen in 2023. Tua, in my estimation, is not on this list for a couple of reasons. Number one is health. No one knows how his brain is going to react next time it hits the turf. I think I'm going to get t-shirts printed up with asterisk when healthy, because every Miami Dolphins fan spouts the stats that Tua put up, quote, asterisk, when he was healthy. But as of December 25th, all of that changed. We don't know moving forward how things are going to be, and we won't know for at least 7 months. Running around with a red jersey and OTAs and minicamp, that doesn't mean anything. He's probably going to be held out of most of preseason. It's not going to be until September till people actually see where he is, where he's going to be for 2023 until September. That's 7 long months of talking about stats he did in the beginning part of 2022. That's not hating on him. It's a fact. And those t-shirts I'm going to print up are absolutely true. Asterisk when healthy. Tua is an elite quarterback. Asterisk when he's healthy. When he's not healthy, we have no idea what's going to happen. The number 2 reason why he's not on the list is just because of that. There is no momentum with the Miami Dolphins going into the 2023 season. It just doesn't exist. The biggest thing we have to talk about right now is who the potential backup quarterback is going to be. Yeah, it's great that Vic Fangio finally signed. Thank God we've got a defensive coordinator who knows what he's doing. But if Vic Fangio and your backup quarterback are the biggest things you have to look forward to and moving forward in 2023, that's a problem. And I personally feel there's a 3rd reason why Tua is going to have a problem in 2023. Every single one of the quarterbacks on Colin Cowherd's list, every single one has extreme mobility. They can move. Even 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers, if he has to get out of the pocket and run around, he can do it. We saw Patrick Mahomes run 25 yards in a Super Bowl on a bum leg, and none of us wondered, oh my God, is he going to be concussed when he hits the ground? We may have worried about his leg. Was he going to get tackled and maybe re-injure his ankle? But I don't think there was anybody who had any concern about him bumping his head and getting concussion. We can't say that about Tua. Anytime Tua leaves the pocket, if he's allowed to leave the pocket, we're all going to gasp. Tua's mobility, even if he has it, will be restricted. Mike McDaniel doesn't want him out there running around. All 10 of these quarterbacks, if a play breaks down, they can take off on you. Even Jared Goff. If Tua was on this list, he would be arguably the least mobile quarterback on it. In today's NFL, as you saw in the Super Bowl, a QB's mobility is an absolute must. When teams face the Dolphins, and they're going to have to face a formidable offense if Tua is healthy, it's all going to be based on the pass and the run game, but there's no doubt that most defensive coordinators can ignore the possibility of Tua tucking the ball and taking off. Jared Goff is no Michael Vick, but if he has to, he'll take off out of the pocket. Tua in 2023 won't be able to do that. He'll have one of the best passing games in the NFL, but if he's forced to leave the pocket, he won't be able to. His mobility is extremely limited. So that's Colin Cowherd's top 10 quarterback list going into 2023. And these were my comments about it. By the way, Nick Wright made a top 10 list, and he had a college quarterback who hasn't even been drafted in his top 10 list without Tua being on it. Caleb Williams from USC, he had at number 5, and Caleb hasn't even been drafted yet. And you can't say that either of these guys were hating on Tua. They never even mentioned his name. He's become pretty much irrelevant to sports journals right now. It's hard to find many people even talking about Tua. 2022, as I mentioned, is closed. We can't keep reliving stats of what he threw and what he did back then. We're going into 2023. It's a new season. You're only as good as your last game, and Tua didn't play 4 or 5 of his last games. What happens moving forward is all that matters. So I can already feel the haterade being drunk, so I'm going to invite you anyway. Let me know what you think about Colin Cowherd's top 10 quarterback list for 2023. and my comments about his list. Talk to you soon. Fins up.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?